Hey guys, it's JoJo and welcome back to JoJo's Universe. Guys, it has been so long. It has been so long since I posted a video. I am sorry. It's been about a year and a half. It's been ridiculously long and I didn't plan it for that to be that long, but anyways. But today we are going to be making this cute little snowman. Got a little scarf and he's got a little hat. Anyways, we're gonna make this guy, and I just want to say that I was really sick during this video. I think I was sick in my last video. It'll be in the description when I made a fox mug, but fox mug warmer. But anyways, I was really sick, so I am sorry for any sniffling or coughing. It just happens. I was just sick. So also, I have a huge family. I have 4 siblings and they can be really loud. They can, like, one of them is 3, one of them is 5, like they're really young. So they can be really loud. So I am sorry for that as well. But anyways, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Things you will need are white yarn, orange yarn, black yarn, blue yarn, some polyester stuffing, some sewing needles for your eyes. You will need 2 small buttons for your eyes and then the 2 big buttons for the buttons down his body. You will need a yarn needle for sewing, a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, and some scissors. I'm just going to stop the clip here. I did actually not use the big buttons for his belly. I didn't actually do that because I think it would look weird with the scarf and how I wanted it positioned. So I didn't actually use the buttons. But if you do want to use the buttons, that's fine. Just make sure you use the buttons before you close up the body. So you stitch on the buttons or put on safety buttons or whatever before you close the body, because otherwise it will be really hard to put on buttons if the body is closed. But honestly, I don't think you need it, but if you like that idea, then make sure that you do that. Anyways, let's keep going with the video. We're going to start with the carrot nose, and we have to make a magic ring. So I like to do the chain 4 method. There are lots of ways that you can do a magic ring, but this is my favorite. So you chain 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you slip stitch in the first stitch of the chain, like that. And then in the middle of that loop, there's a little hole right in the center, and you're going to do 6 single crochets into that little hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then to close up that huge hole, you're just gonna pull on the yarn end, the yarn tail, and that should close up that hole. So now we've just finished round 1, and I'm just going to put in my yarn marker, which is going to help me mark my rounds. So I'm just going to do the last stitch that you just put in and put a piece of yarn in like that, and that's going to help you keep track of your rounds. Then for round 2, you're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So I'm just going to go in the first stitch and do a one single crochet, and then I'm going to do that in each stitch all the way around. Okay, I just finished round 2, and you should have a total of 6 stitches all the way around. For round 3, we're going to first do 2 single crochets in the first stitch. So 1 single crochet and then back into the same stitch for second single crochet. Then for the rest of the stitches, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each of them all the way around. Alright, so I finished round 3, and now you should have a total of 7 stitches around. If you don't know what stitch is, it's just this little V right here, and you should have 7 of those all the way around. Now for round 4 and 5, we're going to just do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1 single crochet in each stitch for 2 rounds all the way around. So I've just completed rounds 4 and 5 of just 1 single crochet. Once you are done that, you're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch, pull up your yarn, and cut it off like so. And that is your little carrot nose. If you want, you can stuff this, but I already stuffed it with the yarn tail, so it's not really a big deal because it's so small. But there you go. So now we're going to make the body, so the bottom of the snowman. And you're going to start with a loop of 6 stitches, just like the carrot. And now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So I will go into my first stitch, which is always difficult to get in. Here we go. Yarn over, do a single crochet, and then I'm going to go right back into that same stitch for a second single crochet. I'm going to do that all the way around this row. Okay, so I just finished round 2, and now for round 3, and you should have 12 stitches around. Now for round 3, we're going to do another increase round. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the second stitch. So 1, and then go back in the same stitch for 2, and we're going to do that pattern all the way around. So 1, 2, 1, 2. So I just finished round 3, and now you should have 18 stitches around. Now for round 4, we're going to do another increase, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, then 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then 1 single crochet in, 2 single crochets in third stitch. So 1, and then back in the same stitch for 2, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around. Just finished round 3, and you should have a total of 18 stitches around. Now for round 4, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So 1, back in the same stitch for 2. And you're going to do that pattern all the way around this round. Okay, so we've just finished round 4, and now you should have 24 stitches around. Now for round 5, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, 1 single crochet in the third stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the fourth stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. So now we finished row 5, and you should have 30 stitches around. For row 6, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 2, 3, and 4, and then 2 single crochets into the 5th stitch. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Okay, so we've just finished round 6, and you should have 36 stitches around. Now for round 7, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches. So 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 single crochets in the 6th stitches. So 1, and then go back in for 2, and then we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around this row. Let's finish row 7, and now you should have 42 stitches around. For round 8, we are going to do another increase. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do 2 single crochets into that 7th stitch. So go back in for another one. And we're going to do that all the way around the row. We've just finished round 8, and now you should have 48 stitches around. Now for rounds 9 through 16, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around the row. So that's 8 more rows of just simple 1 single crochet all the way around. So I will do that, and I will meet you guys back once that is done. So we've just finished 8 rounds of 1 single crochet, and your stitch count should still be 48 stitches. And now we're going to start our decrease rounds. So we're first going to do 1 single crochet in the first 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do a decrease. And we're just going to go in the front loops of the first stitch and then the front loops of the second stitch. And we're going to single crochet those front loops together to make a decrease, like so. So let's do one more. 1 single crochet in the first 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to do a decrease, and so we're going to put our hook in the front loop of the first stitch, front loop of the second stitch, and single crochet those stitches together. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Alright, so we just finished row 17, and you should have 42 stitches around. Now for row 18, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we're going to do a decrease in the 6th and 7th stitch. And we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around this row. So we just finished row 18, and you should have 36 stitches around. Now for row 19, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to do a decrease. So in the first loop, second loop, and single crochet those 2 together. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around this row. So we've just finished row 19, and you should have 30 stitches around. Now for row 20, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a decrease. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around this row. We just finished row 20, and you should have 24 stitches around. Now for round 21, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, and then we're going to do a decrease. So remember, we're just going to single crochet these 2 stitches together, like so, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Okay, so we just finished round 21, and we're just going to stuff our work now. So just pull up your loop and grab your stuffing, and then just stuff your work. Make sure to try and make your snowman ball into a ball, kind of push the stuffing outwards with your fingers like this, and make it as ball-like as possible. I'm just going to add a little bit more, and then just add as much. Don't worry about overstuffing, because there really is no such thing. So just like so. And once you think it's how you like it, I think I like it like this, and you're just going to grab your hook and put it back in the loop. And now we're going to go on to row 22. You should have 18 stitches around. So now you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then you're going to do a decrease in the next 2 stitches, like a decrease. So you're just going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease all the way around this row. Alright, so we just finished row 22, and you should have 12 stitches around. Now for round 23, we're just going to do decreases all the way around, and it might get a little tight and hard to do, but try to keep the stitches as tight as possible, otherwise you end up with big holes at the end. So you just want to do decreases all the way around the row. Okay, so I just finished round 23, and you should have 6 stitches around. Now for round 24, you're just going to cut your yarn. So I'm just gonna grab my scissors here, and like that. And you want to leave a fairly long tail because we're gonna sew up this loop. But now you're just going to chain 1, and you're gonna pull the yarn through and pull tight. Then you're gonna grab your tapestry needle, and you're going to thread it through the eye, like that, and then you're going to stitch this hole closed. So you're going to go into the first stitch, like that, and then the next stitch, and the next stitch. You go into each stitch, and that's 6 of them. So here's stitch number 4, and 6. And then you're just going to go into, you're just going to pull tight. Close up that hole, and then you're going to go into the ball, and you're going to come out randomly, and you're going to go back into the same stitch that you just came out and go randomly out again, and then you're going to grab your scissors, and you're just going to snip that piece of yarn off. And there you have it. You have your first ball of your snowman. So now we're going to do the head of the snowman. And we're going to start off with a magic loop with 6 stitches. And round 2 is going to be 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So that first stitch is always the hardest, of course. Always gives you the hardest time. And then you're going to go back into the same stitch and do a second single crochet. And you're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. Just finished round 2, and you should have 12 stitches around. And now for round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 1, and then go back into the same stitch for 2, and you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around this round. So I've just finished round 3, and you should have 18 stitches around. Now for round 4, you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches, so 1 and 2, and then you're going to do 2 single crochets in the third stitch, so 1, and then go back into the same stitch for 2, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Alright, so I just finished row 4, and you should have 24 stitches around. Now for round 5, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 3, so 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in the fourth stitch, so 1, and go back into the same stitch for 2, and we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. Alright, so I just finished row 5, and you should have 30 stitches around. Now for row 6, and this is going to be our last increase round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the 5th stitch. So 1, and then go back and do the same stitch for 2. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Okay, so we've just completed round 6, and now we're just going to do round 7 to 12 is just going to be 1 single crochet all the way around. So that's 6 more rounds, so rounds 7 to 12. 6 more rounds of just 1 single crochet all the way around. We've just finished 12 rounds, so 6 rounds of just 1 single crochet. You should still have a stitch count with 36 around. Now for round 13, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a decrease. So go into the 2 front loops and single crochet those loops together. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. So we've just finished row 13, and you should have 30 stitches around. Now for row 14, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 3. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a decrease in the 4th and 5th. So we're just going to decrease those 2 stitches together. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. So I finished round 14, and now you should have 24 stitches around. And now you want to put on your eyes, so I put them on. I did do this off camera because I don't have a proper sewing needle, so it's kind of difficult, but I put them on in the middle of the row 10. I put them on 6 stitches apart, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stitches apart. And now you're going to, once you're done that, you're going to sew on your nose. So you're just going to put it into place, like it, about there, and then you're just going to hold it down, and you're going to just go in the next stitch and go right down into the head, like that. And it's actually quite simple to sew on a nose, it's really not that hard. So you're just going to go in the next stitch. It's kind of hard to do this on camera. And you're going to go straight up, oops, straight up that loop, and then pull tight. You're just going to do that all the way around the circumference of the nose. Okay, so I finished putting on the nose. I hope that wasn't too confusing, but I'm just going to finish it off with you. So once you're done, you're going to want to go into the body like this, and then you're just going to want to knot it off. So I'm just going to go around it like that. And this creates a loop, and it makes a knot. So you're going to put your fingers on it and just pull it tight. I'm trying to show it on camera. I'll do a double knot for you. So then you do another loop, just go through, and then you're just going to pull down on that, like that, and then you're going to grab your scissors, and you're going to cut it off. Don't worry about like if the inside is ugly, because we don't really care, because we're not going to be seeing the inside anyways. So there's your nose, and now we're going to go back to crocheting. So I'm going to put your hook back in, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then you're going to do a decrease. Oops. Like that. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Just finished round 15. You should have 18 stitches around, and now we're going to stuff our little head. So we're just going to stuff it, and again you want to make it as round as possible, so kind of push out that stuffing to the sides, kind of shape it a bit. So stuff it to the sides. Make it as round as you possibly can. Alright, I think I'm pretty happy with that. And now we're going to do round 16. So just finish round 15. Again, you should have 18 stitches around. Round 16, you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, if I can get it, like that. So 1 single crochet, and then we're going to do a decrease in the next stitch. So go into the first front loops of the next 2 stitches and decrease those 2 stitches together. And we're going to do that all the way around the row. Okay, so I finished round 16. You should have 12 stitches around. And now we're just going to end it here. So we're going to chain 1, pull through, and then we're just going to cut our yarn here. Pull tight. So now you should have this and this, and I made it on purpose so that it would be a really fat snowman. So anyways, but now we're going to sew this on. Okay, so when you take the body, you can see how the bottom is nice and neat here in the circular, yeah, and then at the top it's all messy, so you want the head to go on the messy part so that you can't actually see it, so it's going to go over top. It's going to be nice and neat. So you want the head to go right over that middle section of the body, and then you're just going to stitch it around into a circle. So you're going to go in through your first stitch, go like that, so right through the body, and then you want to come out right beside that stitch that you're going into. You're just gonna, whoops, I'm gonna pull that through, and then I'm just going to put this back on the needle because mine came loose by accident. And then once you've done that, you're going to go to the next stitch right here, and you're just going to go up through it like that. You're just going to repeat that all the way around. So you're going to go into the next stitch like that, go down, and then go to the side, oops, down, and then to the side. This is so hard to do on camera, you guys have no idea. Okay, like that, and then you're going to pull that through, and then you're going to find next stitch and go right up through, and you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around until your head is attached to your body. Alright, so I just finished going all the way around, and now you're just going to hide your yarn tails. So again, you're going to go in and pop out anywhere in the body, and then you're going to go back into that same place where you popped out, and you're going to do it again. You're just going to pop out anywhere like that, and then you're just going to cut that off like that, and that is your head and body of your snowman. And now we're going to go on to doing the hat and the scarf. So we're going to start making the hat, and the hat is actually made into 2 different pieces, and then we stitch them together. So you're going to start with a magic loop with 6 stitches, and you're going to do 2 single crochets. For round 2, you're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So the first stitch is always the hardest, so 1, and then you go back into the same stitch for 2. And you're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. So just finished round 2. You're going to have 12 stitches around. Now for round 3, you're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch. And it's the same pattern, and I know it's like hard to see with black, but it's the same thing that we did for the head and the body. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 1, and then back into the same stitch for 2. And we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. So we just finished round 3, and now you should have 18 stitches around. Now for round 4, we're going to do 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1, and the next stitch, 1, and then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the third stitch, so 1, and then back in the same stitch for 2, and we're going to repeat that pattern all the way around the row. Alright, so we just finished round 4, and you should have 24 stitches around, and now we're just going to chain 1 and cut off our yarn, and you want to leave quite a fairly long tail because we are going to use this tail to stitch it onto the head of our snowman. So leave quite a long tail like that, and now we're going to make the bulging part of our head, of our hat. So again, you're going to start with a magic loop with 6 stitches in it, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way around. So 1, and then back in the same stitch for 2. We're just going to do that all the way around this row. Alright, so we just finished round 2. You should have 12 stitches around, and now rounds 3 and 4 is just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So do 2 more rounds of just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Alright, so now you're just going to end this. Once you did 2 rows of single crochet, you're just going to do chain 1, cut off the yarn. Keep it pretty long because you're going to want to stitch this onto your plate here. Whoops. Like that. So we're going to do that now. So you're going to take your 2 pieces of hat, and you're going to put the bulging part kind of like in the middle of the plate. I don't know what else to call them. Before you do that, you could stuff this a bit to like keep its shape. Just like a little bit. Like barely any. But honestly, it might just make it really hard. There you go. You can just like stitch this all the way around. It's going to be really hard to see, but basically I'm just going to do the same method that I've been doing this whole time, where I go through a stitch and I just come out through the bottom, and then I go to the side here, and then I go right up through the next stitch like that, and I'm just kind of going to repeat that all the way around. It really doesn't matter how you stitch it on, just try to keep it in the center of the plate. Alright, so once you're done going all the way around, you just kind of want to put the end right beside the starting tail that you had when you started your magic loop, and you're just going to tie those together. You're just going to knot them together. Like that, and then you're just going to cut those ends off. We're done with those. And now, don't worry about those tails because they're going to be hidden when sewn to the head anyways. And now we're going to sew this to the head. Okay, so before we sew this to the head, you're just going to want to go in. You kind of want to come out kind of where you made that knot, because we want some of the rim to kind of flop out. So we're just going to kind of go in like that. And then we're gonna grab our snowman and, whoops, I like to kind of put the hat on an angle like that. And then we're just going to go around. First find where I start. So we're just going to go into the head and then out the side. Oops, I dropped my hat. Get that hat back on there. Come on. There we go. And we're just going to go out the side and we're going to pull tight like that. And then we're going to go up through the hat again. And then do the same thing, go to the side. And we're just gonna stitch this hat on all the way around. So once you finish going all the way around, now we're just going to hide our yarn tail. So again, we're just going to go into the head, come out somewhere randomly, like that. And then we're gonna go back into that place where we came out, like this. And then we're gonna just come out randomly again. And then we're just going to cut that off and just push it in there. And now you've got your hat for your snowman. And now we're going to make the scarf. So now we're going to make our scarf, and you're going to start with a slip knot. And you're just going to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So not this one, but the second one. You're going to go in to that chain and you're going to do a single crochet. And you're going to do a single crochet all along this, in each chain all along this row. Whew. So single crochet in each chain for the row. Okay, so now we're gonna do the scarf, and for the scarf you're gonna want to chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you're gonna single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So here's the first one. Here's the second one, so you're going to go into the second chain from the hook and do a single crochet. And you're going to do single crochets all the way down the row. So in the next stitch or the next chain you're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to do single crochets in each chain all the way down the row. So once you've completed the row, you're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn. And then you're going to do single crochets all the way down the row again. And you're going to repeat this chain 1 turn pattern for as long as you want your scarf. I'll probably do about 20 rows, see how long I want it. But you can like totally adjust how many rows you want, if you want more or less, if you want longer or shorter. So I will meet you back when my scarf is as long as I would like it. Here, I'll just show you one more time. Once you get to the end of the row, so go into the last stitch here, then you're going to again chain 1, turn, and then go down the row again. And you're just going to repeat that until your scarf is as long as you want, and then we can make the tassels at the end. Okay, so I finished my scarf and I did a lot more rounds than just 20 rounds. I wasn't sure how many I was going to do, but I did 52 rounds and I think that's enough for me. So now I'm going to chain 1, do a big loop, and cut off lots of extra because we're going to use this extra to sew onto our snowman. So now I'm going to show you how to make the little tassels on the end. Okay, so you're going to take your tassel color and you're just going to cut a piece about that big, and then you're going to fold it in half. Make sure that it's kind of equal at the ends, so like that. And then you're going to grab your scarf and you're going to put your hook into one of the stitches, and then you're gonna pull this through there, the tassel through the stitch, and then you're going to line it up with the end and then knot it like this. And then once you're done that, you're just going to cut this loop off and then try and cut it so that the ends are even, like that. And you're just going to do that in each stitch across the row, on that row, and across this row. So you're going to need 14 pieces of your tassel color to do that on this row and that row. So just finish doing that. The stitches on this row might be a little harder to see, but they are there. So like that would be one stitch, and then this would be the next stitch, right? So then you would just go along. So just continue doing that until you are done. So I have my scarf how I wanted it placed, and I have all the tassels on now. So I'm just going to go up a couple stitches because I want the scarf to be a little free to move around. So I'm not going to stitch here yet. I'm just going to stitch up a bit, not into the body yet. Now I'm just going to go into the scarf, into the body, and then it's going to be really thick, but you can just come out right there, like so. Again, just sew it on like your way, like it doesn't really matter. Be careful not to get the tassels stuck because that's not fun. And then you're just going to sew it on however you think is the best way. So I'm just going to go in through the body, and then come out. Oh boy. Somehow. Anyways, you just keep doing this until the scarf is completely on. So yeah, I will be back once this scarf is on. Alright, so I finished sewing on my scarf, and now I'm just going to, because I've made it so that it's floppy, it's not completely attached on the ends, but so I'm just going to go on the other side here. Oops. On the other side, make sure again those tassels don't get stuck. That, and then I'm just going to grab my scissors and cut. Then I'm going to try and knot this. I'm just going to double knot it. Make sure it really stays firmly in place. And then there you go. And that is your snowman. So that is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope you enjoyed making this wonderful little guy. Anyways, remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and put on notifications for more videos, because I promise you I will make you more videos. I will try to make that more regular. Also, in the comments, comment down below what you want me to make, because I need ideas, because I have no ideas, and I will make you guys patterns. There goes my little brother screaming his head off again. I better go. Anyways, goodbye and see you later.